to be boring. Yeah, yeah. Tell me you ready, Mellow, you ready to spit for the ladies to keep it nasty, dark and petty. If you pick me, then you might find this upsetting. You say that you're ready, well the joke's on you. Get it?
Hi. True. Yeah, no, definitely. So, just being honest, we've had some substances, and I'm having a libation. She's having a libation.
So let's see how this is gonna go.
Let's see how it's gonna go. We're tired. It is late though. I am quite tired.
It is kind of late.
It
yeah,
is
I need to
kinda
wrap
late.
this fuck up.
Yeah, I'm
mine
hungry
just been
too.
12 seconds. All right, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Time to go.
Welcome to Jokes and You Pod. I am Mel.
I'm Tally.
We are at the SC Content House. Something extraordinary.
Look at how beautiful it is. Y'all never get to see the rest of the house. Maybe,
lovely.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll make,
A
tour and then show y'all the rest of the house, because it's not just this.
One of these days.
It's
this
not
is just
a
one
live
corner.
studio audience here. Like, it's more shit
a
all around
content
us.
home.
So yes, it is lovely. If you got a podcast and you got the coin, bring it here.
If you have anything, you have OnlyFans. If you have,
You can shoot OnlyFans in here.
I have not inquired, but maybe.
Can I just make a little movie as a gift for somebody one day?
I don't know if that's part of the contract. I don't know if you can just have your
I think that
holes
would
out
be
in
a
this
cute
house.
like wedding thing, is to like professionally
Like an orgy?
film. No. Professionally film you and your partner, and then like whenever y'all get married, just be like, watch this, like right after the reception. Like right after the ceremony.
The white girls be doing like a boudoir shoot and they be give it to the.
Did you see the messy one on TikTok?
I think so. That's what made me think of it, but I didn't finish it.
The bridesmaid put the sexy picture in the groom's hand, and he hugged her like they went together. His hand was like, you know how nigga put his hand on your hip, but it's also kind of booty cheek. Yeah. Like, that's how he hugged her. And then she was kind of looking at him like, he was looking at her like, are you going to be, like, you know how a nigga look at you like, you going to be mad? And she was kind of looking at him like, no, like, go ahead, like, look at it. Like, she was giving him permission to look at his own bride. Mm-hmm. If you watch the video, it seems like, not even trying to be just messy, it seems like they fuck. Y'all act like y'all fuck. And the white bitches analyzed it to shreds.
Maybe when the white women on TikTok find a mission, have you been seeing, it's going to be old by the time, her account may be deleted by the time I even talk about this. Have y'all been seeing, them drag Lord Voldemort? We talked about the Jules Demure lady.
Oh my God.
They have been ripping her to shreds. But and it's
somebody
like
said she looked like a ham hock with lashes.
One of the girls said her chin was connected to her chest.
And you know what? This is the thing. I don't play with bitches that I can't go face for face with.
Yeah.
Which I very rare. It's sometimes a bitch will say something to me on Twitter and she'll be so pretty, and I'm like, if this gets down to face card for face card, can I stand my ground?
You gotta really...
I remember that one time, that bitch on Twitter that be selling them shoes, and we got into it over them purses and Timu Toni Braxton. But she's so pretty, and I was like,
where can I even go?
Where can I even go with
this?
Tia
Kim met her match on the phone. She's like, that bitch was competition. People are paying her to cuss people out.
I saw that, and that's her lane too. I think that's so funny.
Perfect.
But no, when I was going back and forth with her, I'm like, damn, this bitch she really pretty, and she could rightfully call me fat. I might take a L here, but I didn't. But
what did she say to you?
When she posted the purses, she's like, here's some examples of evening purses. I wasn't even thinking about the fact that it was a real person on the other end of the tweet. Like, I was just really responding to the tweet. And I said, I'd rather carry my shit between my toes like a monkey than wear any of these purses. And she went back to an earlier tweet of mine where, Offset had cheated on Cardi again. And I said, I said Cardi better than me, because I'd be hanging my head off the side of the bed for Quavo at this point. And so she went back to that tweet and was like, you said you would hang your head off the bed as a married woman. So clearly we not the same type of bitch. Yeah. And it's just like,
whole jokes are boring.
All right. And I called her Timu Toni Braxton, and it kind of just like ended there. But she was fighting all of Twitter that day. She was
we're talking about purses. I do like daily tweet combs with random ass words to see what I find. And then most of the time it's like, because I've gotten most of the bad shit, it's just funny shit. Mm-hmm. Right. So it was around that same time, and I tweeted like, y'all are not fashion girling hard enough to be snooty and nasty about heels and purses like this. Mm-hmm. And I posted to Cat Williams, do you know that we can see you? And then I also found when I said to that girl earlier this year, it was in May, when the whole thing, the girl said the weird shit about my dad, and then people were like, when once you replied, and then people were replying too, then it started blowing up, and the one girl was like, well, I don't like that bitch anyway, you shouldn't apologize. And then I went and found all her tweets to me. And I was like, well, friend, what changed? Because you were my biggest fan. And I was like, damn, I really whacked that bitch.
You did. You whacked her good.
You know, I blocked her as soon as I replied. I was like, I wonder what she would have said back, because what can you say?
Nothing.
But it made it funnier.
And I'm never into it with a bitch that I'm fanning out about.
Like, that just was so weird.
That's just so crazy to me. I have had something to say about a person that was a fave of mine, and I went back and deleted all the positive tweets. Then I said my piece. Because what you won't do is be like, she a fan, she a fan,
No, that
she
happened
a
to me
fan.
because I had said something about Alicia Keys stands. I was like, imagine being an Alicia Keys stands, and I had already gone back and deleted all the mean things I had already said about Alicia Keys. So all my tweets were nice, so it was giving like fan. So her stands did a slideshow to woman's work with all my nice tweets of Alicia Keys from like the past little. Because you know people were like, okay, bitch, you pushing it because you cropped out the date and it says 2012 in this fucking tweet. But it was just like, oh, I love Unthinkable, because I had a bunch of man stealing, husband stealing, this bitch ain't shit, she can't sing. I had already deleted all of them, so now I just look like a fan. But I got my redemption, because when she got on that Super Bowl and cracked in front of everybody, I know they was fighting for their life that night.
The Alicia Keys stands were so mad at me because exactly a year prior to her cracking at the Super Bowl, I tweeted, you think the Lord ever gonna give Alicia Keys her voice back since she took that lady husband? A year to the date, she got on that stage and cracked, and people were like, witch! Even the stands were like, get this fucking witch away from our fandom.
I love redeeming moments like that, especially because I don't forget shit. The main Angel Reese stand that was bothering me, and Angel may block me by the time this comes out. I'm not bothering her, but the main Angel Reese stand that was bothering me, because these stand pages, when I tell you it was the ugliest little girls I've ever seen in my life, leave me alone.
That makes sense.
But she was the main one leading the charge in like the anti-male tweets. And when I had got off the orange carpet at WNBA All-Star Weekend, and I checked my phone, and she was crashing out on Twitter because Angel had blocked her. And it's like, it can't get no better than this.
Chef's kiss.
Oh, this is wonderful. Like, this is excellent. And then the girl who I called Tracy Turnblad jumped
that was
on
so
the
funny.
bandwagon. And I saved the tweet, and I go back and forth every day if I should reply to it. And like, you just mad. Because when everybody's like, this bitch blocked me, she was like, oh, that girl been a clown. And I really want to reply and be like, you just mad. I said you look like Tracy Turnblad, and everybody laughed. Because she genuinely did look like Tracy Turnblad.
And if you know you look like a specific person, relax, because we're gonna say it. If you look like a
and I'm
specific
gonna find out
person,
who you look like, bitch. It's not
that's one of her biggest talents, is being able to say exactly who somebody looks like. I've never seen such in my life.
Thank you. I was at the Kamala rally. I said, it was a white man. I said, you look just like Prince Harry. And he was like, what? I said, right around,
right up in here.
We're not reading the letter because it's too goddamn long. Y'all gotta start
truncating.
3 paragraphs.
I won't say 3 paragraphs. Let's do a good 4.5.
Fine.
And
4 small ones.
4.
Don't come over here with all that bullshit.
And you know what? I don't hate it. It's just like, I've not read out loud in so long that sometimes I think I forgot. So when I'm put on the spot like that,
I be stressed.
And I be trying to make sure I don't put my finger under the line, because I don't want y'all calling me slow.
It's like, I can't see that well because it's an iPad. It's small. I can't really zoom good. So like, I'm struggling. And then now
I wish the technology was real, where you could have like a Mission Impossible screen and you could just slide it, like, not Mission Impossible. What was that? Minority Report. And you just slide it with your hands like this. Like, I wish that, so we could just read the letters that way. My joke of the week. What is?
Oh, I got one.
You got one? My joke of the week. I went to the dermatologist about this bald spot on my vagina.
Oh, mine is similar. Go ahead.
And he was just as confused as I was. And he was just kind of like, I don't know, come back. What? Because I have, like, mind you, I went to Puerto Rico in, like, a long time ago, like, early in the year. And I had
Valentine's Day?
Yes. So I had shaved because I didn't have time to like get a wax or do some actual like hair remover. So I shaved, and it grew back. It's like this comma. It's like this little island of hairlessness. But I know it's hair growing there because every now and again I'll get one trying to pop out, and then I'll pull it because obviously these are ingrown. But when he did whatever he was doing, he was kind of like, I don't think we should bother it. And I'm like,
so that man was in there playing with your pussy?
He was not playing with my pussy. It's on the island. It's on the archipelago. It's up here at the top. So there was no lip action. He was on the sidewalk outside of the lobby.
That's so funny because I have a joke about that because when I had my left coochie lip issue, a white man touched my coochie, and I had a joke about that because that was the first time a white man touched my vagina.
This was a black derm, and he was just kind of like
a black man up in that thing.
And he gonna get quit too.
Yeah.
He's cute, and I can't have a cute man doctor. I'm gonna blur
like
those
perfect
lines.
Pussy problems.
Yeah, and I don't like men. I don't like doctors, technicians looking at my vagina if they're men.
Same.
So like I needed like a lady doctor.
Absolutely.
Anyway,
so mine.
But I use ZocDoc, and sometimes they don't tell you, like they don't have a picture.
I don't know what that is.
ZocDoc is just like it's like being able to just make like how you make it's like style seat for doctors.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, you can go to mine.
Send it to
It's a black woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine is similar because I'm transparent about my coochie problems, and you guys know I had a cystic ingrown on my left side. I had to get removed, and then I had one growing on my right side, and I had to get the shot for it. And then I got a DM last week when I was in California, and this girl DM'd me was like, "Hey girl, just want to send you. I love the pod. Just want to send you this because it made me think of your vagina." And usually that's an immediate block. Usually I block. I don't want to hear about my vagina in my DMs. You're getting blocked. But something was just like, just click on it. Listen. I opened it. I watched it. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. I couldn't even be upset. It was like when your cystic ingrown starts leaking, and the audio was like, "That's my friend." I just had to send her a voice note to me, just because
you mean you can't do anything about it.
I can't do it. And the fucked up part is it's grown back. It's back.
Oh man, you might just have to slice your whole pussy off.
I'm gonna just have to just get brand new pussy skin. Just get some skin from the back of my thigh, put it on my pussy.
If I ever got to get a new coochie, I would make mine fatter.
Me too.
I don't. For the Lord to have given me all this fat, to make my coochie not fat.
Everything on me below my waist is big except for my coochie.
Listen, and I know my coochie not fat because when niggas be trying to like play like it is, like there's no heart in it. Like you could tell, a person playing a character, you could tell they didn't really like prepare for it or they don't care. Like niggas be like, oh yeah, thing's so fat. No, it's not. Come over here and get this bony wet coochie and get out of my face.
And when I watch the porn has not been great lately. I don't know what's going on in the porn market.
I got me some bookmarks on Twitter.
And I got some bookmarks, but I'm scrolling for 10 minutes trying to find something good. What's going on? And it's this one couple that posts, and it's only them 8-second clips. And I feel like such a degenerate when you gonna make me put my card out on OnlyFans? They ask for your license on OnlyFans. It's too degenerate. Upload longer clips, y'all. I'm not buying the OnlyFans.
You have too many choice points because again, I'm not a big porn girly, so if I make it to the link to try to get your OnlyFans,
I'm down bad.
I'm down bad, and there are too many choice points here that are taking me out of the moment. Like when I see sexual material, usually I just pass by it, but if I see it and it intrigues me, I'm like, okay, for these 45 seconds to 3 minutes,
we're doing this.
I'm gonna be a degenerate, and then it's over. But first of all, I hate the sounds on gay lady porn. Hate it. I hate it so bad. So I'm at home watching silent films because you hoes sound terrible. It's like, they sound like chipmunks. I hate it so bad. Nobody sounds like that because I'd be like, oof. So I know.
I don't know what's going on in the girl porn industry. The hair and makeup, these lashes, get them together. It takes me out of the moment. I can't enjoy it.
And let me tell you something. The fingernails.
Nails?
I be looking at some nails.
You at work.
And they be a little dirty. And it's like, you finna let that lady stick that nubby ass dirty finger in your pussy on camera. And I can see that the finger is dirty. Oh my God.
Y'all gotta do.
Do you need some money? Like I will send it.
Do you need some money?
I will send it to you.
This is why I feel like. This is why I say, even with like influencers and people being famous, I'm like the Jules LeBron girl is now famous as fuck. Like all the things, everybody not supposed to be famous. And like even like the child stars, the child blog kids. You're creating mini child stars with like little macro trauma from that, whatever. And I think the same thing applies to porn. OnlyFans has ruined a lot of these girls. Wait until the day they turn 18 to start doing porn. Everybody not supposed to be a porn star.
And you've not lived
yet. It's too accessible because Y'all
you used to have to go down to the valley to do porn.
You used to have to go to the valley to do porn. You doing porn in goddamn Raleigh, North Carolina.
You're doing porn in Portland, Oregon. That is not where that's supposed to be happening. No, you
need to go to the valley and sit on the couch and hopefully be safe. We need a safer environment for it. I understand that porn has made it a little safer. But there were checks and balances.
And when everybody it's the young girls, it's like you didn't even try to work at Forever 21 yet. You didn't Charlotte and I understand that 21. Life is different now and the girls want to get out of school and get straight to the bag. I totally understand that. And I realized that a lot of that started with our college age where people are like, fuck this shit, I need to make some money no matter what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I said it on here.
Options.
These girls be having that dog in them.
You ain't tried a call center. Everybody got to work at a call center at least once now. I
walked in and out of the call center. I didn't work. I walked like the little mouse off Cat Dog. I walked in, I said, oh, and then I turned right back around. I would prefer
But you got to at least think about it.
Yeah.
Y'all going straight to the point is too much. So with all that being said.
For them is like strip club for our
girls. Even that. You ain't try to strip club? You ain't try to get out in the field?
Yeah.
With the checks and balances that come with actual porn, like going through the Mia Khalifa route, was a hair and makeup department. And the way that you bitches set up these iPhone 4s, and the coochie not coiffed, the nails not done, lashes big and gunky,
lashes falling
makeup
off,
bad, the wig. It was one of these bitches in one of these gay porns had a lace front braids. I was so livid. I was just I'm cutting it off. I'm cutting it off.
I think we should also talk about how we've flown too close to the sun with wigs because you should not be wearing a knotless braid wig. That's not real.
And not to do porn.
And people have deluded themselves so much.
And clean that room.
Clean that goddamn. You shouldn't be you got time to fuck. You ain't got time to clean that room.
And my room is a mess. I'm shooting in there.
I ain't filming no content in there.
How do we even get the porn?
Child, I don't know.
Okay, so let's get straight. We told our jokes of the week. Mm-hmm. We ain't doing no letters. Booty hole. Mm-hmm. So the booty hole is gonna be what the whole episode is about.
Yes.
So here's the question. I'm gonna say it very cleanly so it can be a nice little clip. What is the dumbest thing that you did and maybe or maybe not got in trouble for as a child? No trauma included.
You said no trauma?
Nothing. I asked this question on Twitter, what's the dumbest thing you got in punishment for? People one time my father cut off all my toenails. No, just something silly and goofy.
Something silly
that you
and
did
goofy.
as a child that was just very, very stupid.
I didn't get punished for this, but I think punishment enough was what was happening to me. I remember being a very small child. Right out of that toddler age where you start having formative memories. And I love potatoes. I always have loved potatoes my entire life. Okay. And so my dad used to work at Sam's Club. So he used to just bring shit home from Sam's Club, whatever the new hot shit was. And so this is at the advent of frozen hash brown patties. This is when we were making a turn in potato technology at this point in history. And so my dad would pretty much make me whatever the fuck I wanted to eat because better fed than dead, man. Whatever you want to eat, if I got access to it, we're going to do it. So I was like, I want some hash browns, and I had been eating through them hoes. I'm talking about a Pac-Man, just munch. Every meal, I wanted these hash browns, and my dad was like, enough! When I asked for another hash brown, he was like, no. And I'm like, I don't want anything else. I want the hash browns. And he was like, no. So I was in the back room watching TV. I think he might have been with a girl or something. I don't know what he was doing. I forget where we...
Fuck this nigga.
Right. I forget where we were living at, but I would pass behind the back of their heads on the couch. So I was coming from the back room to the kitchen, and I was just eating the patties frozen from the freezer. Because I knew...
Giving 11 from Stranger Things.
I knew I was going to get a whooping if I turned on that stove or that oven. So I said, fuck it, we ball. I'm going to just eat it raw. Cold. I had 7, and a little body, 7 frozen.
That's disgusting.
I was eating it like a potato popsicle. I was like, munch. And I thought I had gotten away with it until my stomach, I don't know if anybody else remembers their first stomach ache, that you earned, but my stomach immediately was like,
hey man.
My stomach hurt so bad that I had never been to the hospital that I could recall. But as a kid, I was like, we've got to go to the emergency room.
We got to go to the hospital.
So I go to my dad. I'm like,
I'm sorry to interrupt.
I'm like, hey, guy.
I'm sorry to interrupt this program.
My dad used to be so sweet when I was younger. He was just like, oh, my baby. He was like, what's wrong, Boopy? What's going on? I was like, I don't want to say. And he was like, what's up? And so he immediately sent the girl home. Good dadding. He was like, you gotta go. I gotta deal with my baby. And she was clearly upset. And now that I'm an adult, I understand.
You ruined that young lady's dick for the evening.
Oh, I know. I know now as an adult.
She want to eat fucking raw potato.
She was like, I can't
LaTanya had to go straight
this
fucking
little
home.
fucker. That's so funny. That's my sister's mom. But anyway.
Huh.
Yeah. But, yeah. So he was like, what happened? And I was like, I don't want to say. And so we go back and forth. And he was like, what did you do? He's like, I'm going to find out. He's like, so just tell me. And I was like, I ate all of the potatoes from the potatoes you had. So he is thinking like a rational person, and he's like, I know you didn't turn that oven on. I know you didn't turn that stove on.
You not, because that's the first thing to tell your pre-K. Yep. Don't touch the oven. Don't touch the telephone.
And he was so mad, and I was like, I didn't touch the oven, and I didn't touch the stove, and I saw a look of horror come over his face.
You ate frozen.
He realized who his child was that day.
What kind of fucking monster you are, right?
It went from anger to sheer terror. And he called my mom, and he was like, Dimma! He's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? This fucking baby. And she was like, hell no. And he was like, Dimma, you won't believe it. She was like, what? Because they can't stand each other. She's like, Richie, I'm out. What is up? What's going on?
What the fuck do you want?
And he was like, your baby ate 7 frozen hash brown patties from the freezer.
How did you reach it? Did you climb on
I climbed, and there was a little stair stepper. So I was just in there gumming it, just in the freezer. And she said, she was blaming her. She was like, what the fuck, Richie? How the fuck did this happen? And he was like, I'm just a boy. And he's like, I did not. He's like, I could not have guessed that this little bitch would go and eat all of it. What the fuck?
What the fuck is your problem?
And he was like, we don't need to go to the hospital. Talking to me, because I said hospital. I suggested the hospital as a kid.
Casually, please.
And he was like, you're just going to have to get sick.
And throw
it. It was coming out like lava out of both ends. And he's like, I ain't going to whoop you. He's basically like, I can't even whoop you, big dog. 1, you shitty. I can't whoop you. He was like, 2, this is punishment enough. Yeah. He was like, bet you won't do that dumb shit again. Surely did not. Surely did not.
I have a I ain't even gonna whoop you story too. And I recently told, where was I at telling this story?
This is empty.
So doing dumb shit. My dumb era was really like 4th grade, just doing shit. And
9 years old is a hard time.
8 even.
8, yeah.
'Cause I'm even younger. So I hated my 4th grade teacher, right? And I already pre-hated her because she was my 3rd grade math and science teacher. So you hated her down. Hated her bad. So me and this girl named Diva, her name was Diva.
D-I-V-A.
Diva. She was like Hispanic and Japanese or some shit. So we're passing notes on note cards, on index cards, back and forth about how much we hate our teacher. How much we hate her. Mm-hmm. She sucks. She's ugly. We wish she was dead. Someone should kill her. Let's start a club about how dumb this bitch is. Fuck her. Back and forth. Me being an idiot, I'm doodling my name on the notes. Because this is in class. We had separated for a group project. So like my group was over there, but my desk was over here. So a bitch I didn't like, Laura.
Fuck Laura, by the way.
Goes in my desk. She knows it's my desk. And then she finds the notes and my name is on it. I guess by the end of the day, she reports it and turns it into the teacher. I did not go to the school the next day. I didn't know I was in trouble. I was just playing hooky and I was with my godmom and we went to the mall. So I didn't go to school that day. But apparently that was the talk, like Melanie's in trouble, it's a big deal, blah, 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 blah. Because one of the girls in my class rode my bus and Monique had went to school that day.
So she knew.
So she gets on the bus.
Thank you.
And it's like, hey, Monique, like your sister's in big trouble. She did this, she did that. Monique is like, excellent.
Perfect.
She gets home and tells mom and dad. So by the time I get home, I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm back home. Everyone's like,
well.
What's going on, y'all? What's everybody?
Did I miss a meeting?
Why y'all not laughing? So my mom and dad break down what's going on. And me knowing I did it, I'm like, yikes. And my mom is like, and for me, in my head, just whoop me, right? Whoop me. I can go about my business. I can go back in my room with all my toys, my TV, my movies, my activities.
You got to keep your shit when you were in trouble?
That's what I'm saying. It was kind of like an either or kind of thing. Like, I prefer just whooping me because I know I can go in my room.
Okay, yeah.
Versus taking my thing.
Right, okay, I get it. Yeah.
You know? So I was like, okay. So I wrote the notes. What's next? Like, what are we doing?
What are next
I was
steps?
like, I ain't even gonna whoop you. No, whoop me, please. Please whoop me. She said, no, I'm gonna let them white folk at that school deal with you.
Yikes.
In my head,
you
like,
finna get strung up.
I'm on the auction block. Like, they are gonna sell me. I'm in so much trouble because it's a white school. So she's like, I'm gonna let them deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh my God, please whoop me, please.
That's so dramatic.
Don't leave me to the white folk, please.
Don't leave me to the white folks.
I get to the school, and it was literally like, you know, Kevin Hart like, Kevin on the bus. Oh, it's about to go down. Like, everybody's like, oh, Mel's here today, bitch. Ah,
it's trouble time.
It's trouble time. So I walk in like, doom, 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 doom. And I'm in the meeting. I'm at the principal. Like, we're talking about, I'm like, look, did I write the notes? Yes. But I, being a logical 8-year-old, I'm not passing notes by myself.
So she said,
get diva ass in here too. They never call her, and I was like, "This is racist." I was quick to put a race
she
card.
was not a black named Diva.
No, I told you she was Hispanic.
Yeah, you
and
did
Asian.
say that.
So I'm like, why am I the only one getting in trouble for this? Like, sure. And because I was like, let's start a club about how much we hate Miss Rosales, they were like, are you trying to start a gang? And I'm like, all right.
Oh, girl, please, bitch, hoe. You know I'm not starting no
like,
gang.
come on now.
Come
I'm like,
on,
this
dog.
is fucking silly. Like, did I do it? Yes. I wasn't doing it by myself. I'm not starting a fucking gang. That was when American Girl used to have them kits in Barnes & Noble. Mm-hmm. It was like a club kit. You can get like membership cards and all that. So everybody wanted a club.
Right.
So I didn't get in trouble for that. So I go back to class. But everybody's like not fucking with me that day. Like everybody's just fucking with me. Like, oh, this fuck with Melanie day.
Right.
So I'm walking down one of the aisles and it's lunchtime. So like this is when the teacher be like, row 1, go, row 2, go, row 3. So I'm walking down the aisle to get to my seat so I can go to lunch. And I trip over one of the little junior plastics lunchbox. And I'm like, oh my bad. Like her shit was in the middle of the fucking, it was one of the big ass lunchbox. And they go tell the teacher, well, Melanie just A-Town stomped and body slammed my lunchbox.
I remember you told me that.
And I'm like, bitch, no, I fucking didn't. Then they added some more stank on it. And she's like, and she also said, row stupid, go to lunch. Bitch, how dare you lie on me like that? How dare you? So she was like, excellent. Now I can write you up, bitch.
Right.
And so she wrote me
How
up
you got beef with a fourth grader?
What type of shit is that? I look this bitch up every year. Because one day I'm going to run into her.
I didn't want to cut you off. Were you finished with your story?
I was going to say another dumb thing I did. You know what?
Go ahead. Thank you. This is nice.
It was excellent.
Thank you.
Another thing I did in 4th grade is because I missed school. I think we went to homecoming and I missed school for that week. Maybe like 1 or 2 days. And, you know, she always said, like, if you miss school, let me know so I can give you the makeup work. Or so you can do some makeup work. So in my head, not makeup as in make the work up, like make it up to you, makeup. I'm thinking, oh, I'm supposed to make it up. So I gave myself homework, put math problems, made the problem up, then answered it, made questions, answered the questions. That's the cutest
thing I've ever heard.
And then I I stapled it together, printed it out, and then I was like, makeup work for Melanie Mitchell. I drew makeup and lipstick on it, so which is a third kind of makeup that
because entendres.
Bitch, I should have been a rapper. Makeup work, and I was just like, there you go, here's my makeup work. And she was like, girl, what the hell? What the fuck is this? That was just so dumb. But go ahead. What's yours?
No, I was gonna say it to your story. I ran into a teacher that I hated so bad as a grown up at South DeKalb, and I was really ready to throw hands. I had this teacher named Miss Williams when I went to Stevenson, and she was just the most incompetent adult I had ever met in my life. And me having the relationship that I already had with adults, I already don't think much of you people. So at least be educated and be qualified. Yeah. Mind you, I was a you on the report card kind of child. I was unsatisfactory in that regard. I was a talks too much. Yeah. I was a little smart mouth, a little mean, bullies the other children. Fine. I kept my grades up. Me, my friend Jasa, and my friend Deneen all were in the same class, and we were such good friends that we used to pretend we were sisters. Like, we loved each other down. That was my crew. So all of us in the same class, and we in the class with all the cute boys at the same time. Oh my God. So
when you walk in that first day of school and it's cute boys in your class
and your friends,
And
your friends and the cute boys in class. So walking in this class, first thing me and my friends say, we say, look, we got to keep our grades up in this class. Because if we make the block hot, then our parents going to get us out this class because we distracted by the boys. So we went in there. She was assigning like coloring in like 7th or 8th grade science. We like bring color pencils and crayons to class. So me and my friends who actually enjoy learning are like, girl, what the fuck? Like, we got I think we were in the 8th grade.
Explain a volcano to me. We're
like, we got high school next year. We can't fuck around with you like this. We got physics next year. What the hell are you on? So she was docking people's academic grades for conduct. Mm-hmm. I had a 54 in the class. Someone had a 36. My friend Jasa, who has never gotten a C in her fucking life, had a 60.
Baby.
And so I was talking to them too, and I'm like, hey, y'all are going to get on punishment. I'm going to get my ass beat. We need to make a plan before these progress reports come out. Because all I know is, even if I'm right, if I bring a progress report home with a 54 on it, my daddy ain't never seen a 5-0 on my progress report in all the years I've been living. So if I bring this shit home, I'm finna get mollywop. So they're like, no, we're just good, because they are in normal households. So they're like, we're just going to explain to our parents what's going on. I was like, what y'all are going to do is explain to your parents what's going on, and then you're going to have your parents call my parents and explain to them what's going on. Because if it's coming out of my mouth, I'm finna get scissor kicked. Mm-hmm. So they say, okay. So I tell my dad, I said, hey, you're going to get a call from Jason's mom and Denine's mom tonight. And he was like, what have you done? In a very Game of Thrones style voice. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, no. They're just going to call you. So they called and was like, hey, Jasa and Denine got really bad grades in this class. Like, we're not fans of it, but they say some shit is afoot. We're going to go up there. Do y'all want to come? Him and my stepmom. And he's like, I'm finna talk to Jasmine about this. And he getting all riled up. And I'm like, hey, psst, listen to what she's saying. The whole point. Just focus on what she's saying. And so he was basically like, if I go up there and shit is not what you say it is,
mm-hmm. That's your ass.
That's your ass. So they had planned to come up there on a Tuesday. So Monday, I'm very much like, you know, that sassy cheerleader who's like, because I'm like, I know all the smartest adults I know and my dad are coming here tomorrow. So she said something nasty to me in class about how I never shut the fuck up. And so because I knew the parents were coming tomorrow, I used all my vocabulary words and I read that lady down in front of the class. And I was just like, it baffles me how your concern is that I talk too much when I haven't learned anything since I've been in here. So of course I'm talking, I'm not occupied. And everybody was like, ooh. So the scuttlebutt in the school was that I let Miss Williams have it. So the parents come on Tuesday and they figure out she's an asshole, and they basically like get all of us removed from her class, and she eventually gets fired. Period. My father hears the scuttlebutt in the hallway that I disrespected an adult in front of an entire class, got my ass kicked anyway. I had made it home free.
You were doing good.
I was doing good, and he heard an exchange between teachers where they were like, yes, she said baffled in front of everybody. Ass kicked. I saw Miss Williams outside of Fletcher's at South DeKalb Mall, and I said, I think I might have been with my grandma. My grandma was already in the car, and I told her, I said, if I was not here with my grandmother, I'd kick your ass, Miss Williams.
You told her?
Yeah, and she was like, Jasmine Tally? And I was like, yeah, Jasmine. I was like, yeah.
Yes, me, bitch.
It's Jasmine Tally. I was like, it wasn't that long ago.
Jasmine.
I fucking hate you.
What was the boy saying? Backdoor Jasmine. Big Drake Jasmine, bitch.
Draco, walk him down.
Walk him down, that's it. Walk him down, Jasmine.
Walk him down, demon in the alley.
Alley Tally.
So we talking about dumb shit we did when we was kids.
We had to pee.
Yeah, we did have to pee. I did a bunch of dumb shit when I was a younger person.
I put that bead up my nose. That was fun. That's one of my earliest memories because I remember doing it. I remember my thought process. I was 3 years old. I remember walking past my mom's dresser. I had beads in my hair, but this wasn't a bead that was in my head actively at the moment. I remember being eye level with the dresser and being like, I gotta put this motherfucker in my nose. I got to put this bitch in my nose. Like, you know what I should do?
Is put this motherfucker in my nose.
Put this bead. I was so proud of myself when I remember like seeing it on the dresser, picking it up. And being so proud of it, I ran to my parents like, Mom and Dad,
look. I fit this bead
look
up
how
my
fucking,
nose.
I'm a genius.
It's a perfect fit.
Look how, look. Mom loses her shit.
I remember the time I was talking to Brittany about this the other day. I've done so much dumb shit in my life. This could be a 4-hour episode. I remember I don't know what was wrong with me, but I was losing my fucking mind. Like, I was just a teenager. My hormones were all over the place. I was having like an existential crisis. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut my hair. Mind you, I've never done any hair. I don't know how to do hair. Nothing. So I'm gonna cut my hair like Rihanna, and this is when she had the short black cut. And my mom was dating this guy named Travis, who, by all accounts, was just a large child. He was just like a 30-something-year-old kid. So when I would come home from school, he would just kind of be there. And he was such a nice guy. He was just irresponsible and childlike. So, you know, I come home from school. He's just kind of like, what's up, your mom told me to make sure you do your homework. And I was like, you're not going to make sure of anything. I'm going to go do what I'm going to do.
I'm going to do it because I was going to do it anyway.
You're going to lay here and watch the Boondocks because we're still trying to figure out why you can't rinse your food off the dishes. So maybe not too much on me. And I was just such a bitch, like, at that. Well, I probably shouldn't call my child self a bitch, but by all accounts, I was a bitch. So I grabbed my mom's kitchen scissors, which me, as a little dumbass at the time, didn't know that this is used for, like, cutting salmon skin and cutting veins out of chicken. And here you go, put it in your hair. My hair was in the George Washingtons and a low ponytail in the back. Mind you, it was in a silk press I had to fight for because I rarely got my hair straightened. So I had just left the salon, like, recently, not having any concept of money and how much money my mom spent on my hair salon. And I cut it. I did have good instincts. I cut it downward. And so it came out more like a bob than a pixie. And I was like, well, guess I got to keep cutting. So I just started cutting chunks out of my hair, I had a printed out picture of Rihanna that I printed out at school.
It right on the mirror.
And I had it on the mirror and I was trying to cut my hair. And I came out of the bathroom like nothing was wrong. Mind you, my mom wasn't home from work yet. And this nigga was on the couch. So I came out and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, what's up? Because he's not paying attention to me. And then he turns around and he goes, ooh. He was like, come on, Jazz. God damn.
On my watch, bro.
Like, God damn. He was like, your mom's gonna fuck me up. And I was like, what? It looked like this the whole time. He was like, it didn't. It didn't. So I feel like I'm arguing with a big brother. I never had a sibling, older sibling before. So I'm like, it was like this the whole time. Get off my fucking back, bro. Like, get off my back. And he's like, we got to call your mom.
We have to.
I was like, no. Don't call her. Just let her come home and see. And I didn't understand adult relationship dynamics at the time. But he's like, that lady's gonna reach inside my chest and pull my lungs out. And she comes home and you've cut your hair out and I didn't say anything. So he called my mom and he's like, Thimba, listen, I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. Jasmine cut all her hair off. She was on speaker and I heard her say, I'm on my way. And she just hung up the phone.
Because
so she comes. And the reason I was talking to Brittany about this is I was talking about how I know I'm not ready for parenthood because I'm not ready to be down to my last $150 and my idiot fucking teenager has cut all her hair off and has to go to school the next day. So she bursts in the house and she's like, oh, Jasmine, what the fuck? And I was trying to cut it like Rihanna. And she was like, who's Rihanna? I was like,
what a dumb ass. She's doing dumb shit.
I was like, Rihanna. And she was like, who the fuck is Rihanna? Fuck Rihanna. And I was like, pond to replay. And she was like, fine. And I was like, she was like, I don't have money to fix it. I was like, you don't have to fix it. It looks fine. She was like,
no, it doesn't.
She was like, get in the fucking car. So she called our stylist, Darian. Shout out Darian. Where are you? She called Darian and was like, Jasmine cut her hair off. Mind you, Darian had been growing my hair. So this is a crisis on everybody's part. So Darian was like, she did fucking what? And I said, I've never been in trouble with the hairstylist before. This is some new shit. I get there, Darian is cutting my hair like Gloria from...
You want your hair shorter than mine or shorter than mine?
And she just cutting it off. You. And so I got what I wanted. Now, I'm a smart bitch. I knew they was going to have to fix my hair. So, and did I think I was going to get it on the first try doing the cut? Yes. But I knew if I failed, I had a safety net. So I got my hair cut or whatever. And my mom had never been more upset with me in her life, but I ate the haircut up, though. So she was like, don't ever do that shit again.
But it's cute.
But you look cute. So she was like, how you gonna explain this to your daddy? Because much like your father is your hair is your crown ass nigga.
Yes.
So is my dad.
That's like old school misogyny.
Old school misogyny. So my dad was a firefighter, and so he worked 24 on, 48 off. So whenever he was going to the firehouse in the morning, because I've always gotten up early, so he would leave to go to the firehouse at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I would, and I had to catch 6:37, and I had to catch my bus at 6:50 because I rode the shuttle. So I would go into the guest. This is when they were separating, divorcing. So he was sleeping in the guest room. And so I would go in the guest room and give him a hug and kiss and just be like, okay, I'm off to school. My dad is a full body hugger for anybody. He's an embracer. So he not going to church hug you. He not going to dap you up. He's going to like cradle the back of your head. So he gave me a hug and felt that skin on the back of my neck. And he rose up like the Undertaker and was like, Jasmine. I was like, ah! So I was trying to get out of the room and I was like getting my shit, but I don't spend any time in the guest room. So I haven't done my like Jennifer Lopez in enough, like knowing where shit is at. So I'm tripping over shit in the guest room, and I think he realized I didn't have any hair when he reached to pull my head and couldn't grab nothing. And he was like, who the fuck told you? Mind you, the summer before I had come home with another ear piercing and it closed because it got infected. But this is like a second rebellion in his mind because we already solved this shit with the ear piercing. He was like, who told you could do that? And I was like, my mom, which is a lie. And he was like, this is one of the only times I've heard my dad refer to my mom to me as his baby mama. He was like, if I call my baby mama and you have me cuss her out because she allowed you to do this, I'm going to know something. And I was like, okay, listen. I was like, you got me. I was like, I cut it myself, and then she took me to get fixed. So he was like, you was going to let me call my baby mama cussing. I was like, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And, yeah, I don't want to talk about the rest of that story, but I was made to grow my hair back out. I was made to, and then the next year, I dyed it without permission. So I went from ear piercings without permission. I got my ear pierced at the Walmart in Grenada County, Mississippi over the summer.
Well, there's your infection.
There's your infection. 100%. 100%. I went down there hanging out with my cousins, and they were like, we're going to get our ears pierced. I said, cool. I was like, because there's no mall in Grenada. You have to go to Jackson to go to the mall. I was like, do we have permission?
For Jackson to be the big city?
Jackson's the big city. So I'm like, do we have permission to go to Jackson? They were like, we're not going to Jackson. We're going to Walmart. And I was like, y'all are going to Walmart. I'm not going to participate in that. And they were like, well, we're getting our ears pierced.
We're all having fun.
Basically, don't be pussy about it. Got my ear pierced up there. That shit was inflamed immediately. I don't even think I got to leave the store before that shit got infected. And I came home and my dad does not like sores and like gross shit. He was like, he saw my ear. It was all big. It was all big. He was like, he's like, what the? And I blame that on my mom too, because she didn't let that happen either. And he was like, how the fuck did this come about? I was like, my mom let me. He's like, no, that doesn't even sound right. No, she doesn't. No, she didn't.
Honestly, the one thing I miss the most about having two parents is pitting them against each other and lying.
That's so funny. That's one of the funnier things you've said.
It's fun, man.
It is
and
fun.
my dad used to be so mad. I don't know if you remember that Twitter story that lady said when her dad let her get some sugary cereal.
Yeah.
And her mom made her like watch the cereal box. It's like, people are like, oh, your mom's going to die. Fuck her. It's like, it's a bit much, but this is also the 80s. And that was a 40-something-year-old story. But I understood it because I didn't see it as the vile, your mother abused you. It's like, oh, when she went to college, she ate a bunch of cereal. It's like, everybody went to college and did exactly what their parents said not to do. It's like, y'all are making it weird.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and having a teenage daughter is a power struggle. It just is.
She was 4.
Oh, she was a kid.
She was 4. It's like, I get it's extra. I get it, but I understood it from the point of view of
the mom had vision because you were going to grow up to buck at me. Just straight up, like in terms of a power struggle.
It's a power struggle with toddlers, teenagers, anybody, and also when your parents are in the home and you trying to get shit done, you gotta manipulate. It's some shit my daddy went to the grave with that me and him was locked in on. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't you tell that fucking lady that I had attention today. It was Black History Program practice. He was like, cool. To the grave. But my dad would also be like Day on next Friday. If you get into
I gotta live here.
Yeah. But this is my wife. I'm gonna get cussed out because you on bullshit.
My mom and my stepmom did not often punish me, but when they did, they punished me so that my father would be left out of it because they're very much like, you even being the person that is the subject of this, don't even quite understand this nigga and like what type of shit is going on. I remember I told you my mom snatched me out of the group of the girls with my ponytail because I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. Man, I remember one time, my stepmom don't know this, this is the first time admitting this, but I had skipped class to suck dick. I sure did. We had gotten this new part of our building. I did. We had got, and I loved my boyfriend down. We had
sucked it.
To suck dick. We had got, I mean, he was eating some coochie. It was an even exchange. But we were like, fuck school. Our hormone monsters were out of control. So I skipped my science classes. I hated it anyway, and my teacher just expected too much of me. Like he wouldn't just let me be
So you just never satisfied with science teachers. They don't teach enough. They teach too much. What is enough for you?
Listen, Mr. Yan was an excellent teacher. He just was too much for me, and I just couldn't pay. I couldn't get it. The math part of the science was just too much for me. So we skipped
chemistry when they started adding numbers and shit. I said,
hey, enough. So we skipped class. I skipped class to go suck dick. I had been skipping Mr. Yan's class already, and I had never gotten in trouble for it. So I think it was a situation where another shoe was going to drop. I just thought that I was going to graduate, never having gone to his class and getting a C out of it and being fine. In my mind, I was already in school. So it was my last class of the day, so I'm coming up, breath just full of dick from downstairs. And
where'd y'all go to suck the dick?
We had this near the dance studio. We had this long empty hallway that had this stairwell ducked off. And I think because the school was a new build, a lot of the teachers didn't even know where that was because they had no reason to be there. But the students found it. But come upstairs, dick breath, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to rehearsal now because I didn't play about rehearsal, and it was hell week, so I could not miss anything. And we were doing my senior year. We did Cinderella the musical. And I was the fairy godmother, and I could not stand my understudy. I would have rather somebody could have broken my spine, and I still would have went on stage rather than let her sing my part. Yeah. So, I'm coming upstairs, I'm going to rehearsal. I see my stepmom in the hallway, so I'm thinking it's a family emergency or something, because no way they figured out my ruse that I've been skipping class. And so I'm like, "What's up? What's going on? Is everything okay?" And then my stepmom was like, "Yeah, come on, get in the car." And I was like, "I've got rehearsal. I'm not going anywhere." She was like, "Your ass don't have shit because you wasn't in science class." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, man." She was like, "Did you think that man was never going to tell the adults in your family that you weren't coming to class?" I was like, "I'm adults in my family now. I'm going to school. Leave me alone. What the fuck?" She made me get in that car. And when we got in the car, she was like, "Imagine," because my stepmom can clock some sex. I don't know if she clocking your attitude. I don't know if she clocking smells. I don't know what the fuck she clocking. But you done had any sort of hunky-dory, my stepmom was going to know. She was like, "You think if I told your daddy where you weren't and what you were doing, what do you think is going to happen to you?" And I said, "You goddamn right.
You better drive this car, bitch.
Roll the clip. Let's go. Let's go home. Because that nigga's going to step through my spinal column as soon as I get home."
I'm so glad my dad missed my sex era because I just know that would have been bad. That would have been so bad. That would have been so bad. I can't even.
Well, I think my dad knew that I hated boys so bad. I genuinely think he thought I hated boys to the point where I didn't want them to touch me. And I was like, "No, I hate boys because of you. I'm going to do some fucking."
You got to be quicker than that.
He genuinely never, ever, ever had a suspicion that I was doing anything sexual with boys. I would hear him tell other dads, "My child hates these niggas. So sorry
I've
for
worked very hard for these 15 years for her to hate niggas. Well, I'm doing great."
He was like, "Sorry for your slut ass daughters, but my child hates these niggas." And I'm like, "I'm good." His dicks, well, not dicks everywhere, but just my boyfriends at the time.
Yeah.
I remember this one neighborhood boy. He moved into the neighborhood, and
I'm jealous. Don't tell no more dick stories about high school. I ain't getting it.
I'm sorry for it, but this one boy moved into the neighborhood, and he was so fine. And he went to another school, so you can't even spread rumors about me in my school because you don't even go here. Yeah,
another
man.
School nigga?
That was the first time I'd ever heard the term 69 in my life. And he was like, "Do you want to do a 69? I said, "Do you have a picture? Because I don't know what that means, but it sounds like something I'm down for. Sounds fun." We did a 69 on my living room floor.
Where were the adults?
They were gone. It was summer. 69 on my living room floor, which I didn't realize I was cheating on my boyfriend either. I was like, this doesn't count somehow because it's new. And then now that I'm
if I don't know what it is,
if I don't know what it is, it's new. It doesn't count. But I very much cheated on you, Cameron. And I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I did 69 on the floor. And my stepmom came home. She was like, "Why does it smell like pussy in here?" I was like, "Pussy has a smell?" What do
Why
you
did it
mean?
smell like pussy in here is so crazy. And also, you have a teenage hormone freak in your living room. You know why it smells like pussy in here.
I broke one of her chairs. This is my first time ever riding dick. I broke one of her chairs. We had this front door, living room, computer room. And I was with my boyfriend, and we had done like normal sex, missionary. And I was like, listen.
I've heard about this writing
I've heard about this writing thing. I want to at least see if I'm good at it, because I was also on a mission to be good at fucking before I got to college. I needed to know. These niggas wasn't finna run me ragged with good dick. They did anyway. But I was at least going to be able to compete.
You can't outrun that, baby.
You can't outfuck them boys down at that school. But you sure cannot.
Them niggas is doped up on Ciroc and Four Loko and bad weed.
Ciroc, they smoking Black and Miles.
The shit out of
they working through their childhood trauma and their mom shit. They having a hard time.
With them terrible Magnum condoms.
Yep.
Fuck that whole
man.
room up.
So he sat in a chair, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. Turns out I was excellent at it. Them 4 legs on that chair split all 4 ways to the ground.
Like
so it was just
shallow hell.
Yes, it looked like a bus seat on the ground, and I was like, so I was like, do I just throw the chair away? Like,
Welcome to my chair.
I was like, do I just get rid? Because I was gonna go put it. This girl who lived across the street from me, Dana, I was gonna put it in her trash can.
You don't have to say these people's names when you refer to them.
This is me telling the story.
You don't have to say the people's names.
Sorry. She's
not Dana getting texted. So you was just taking dick chairs. Not Dana Day ruined.
No, but I was just gonna put it across the street in her garbage, and then my boyfriend was just kind of like, your parents are going to have questions about this chair. Like, you have to figure out an explanation. I know this is dumb now as an adult. I told my stepmom, mind you, I'm 145 pounds, 140 pounds maybe at the time. I said I stood on the chair changing a light bulb, and it broke. And she said, so my chair, she said, you stood on this chair, and they got those chairs like that year. She's like, you stood on this chair, and it split all 4 ways. I said, you fucking got it.
Yep.
That's it. That's what happened. To this day, she's like, you were fucking in my chair. I was like, I've never. This wasn't in high school, though. This was after I graduated.
Summer.
Yeah, this is after I graduated.
I don't think of dumb shit. Like, I would get in trouble for such dumb shit. And I'm just like, when I would get in trouble, I'd be like, it's bitch's fucking chair's flat. And you over here mad at me.
Whoa! Hold on. Why am I in it?
And you mad at me. The way my parents are so fucking dramatic. Like, again, such a Moesha-ass household. Like, it was just straight out of the Frank Mitchell playbook. I didn't go nowhere. So all I had was me and that computer. Mm-hmm. My friends were on the internet. I had friends at school, obviously. I'm not a loser. But I couldn't do nothing. Once that bell rang,
you gotta go home.
Come on home. So I had made a whole environment and friends on the internet. I was on Twitter, early Twitter. Mm-hmm. And the people I looked up on the internet was like Kid Fury, Crunk of Disorderly, the YBF, Nicole Bitchy. So I'm like, I'm starting a blog.
Period.
And I think I had asked, which is why I stopped asking to do things and started doing them. Because I was like, hey, mom and dad, I think I'm going to start a blog. Like, it's going to be my new era, whatever. And like, parent scope of the internet at the time was like,
porn.
Child molester, kidnap, to catch predator. And I'm like, hey, man, I want to be famous. And they said no. And I was like, all right, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I got my blog together. What was the name of it? It was called like SoMessy.com. It was supposed to cover all the mess.
I would pay money to see that.
God, I wonder what. And I was doing it for a week. I had got Kid Fury to like retweet it or like it.
Oh, so you were making moves.
I was like, my career as Mel Bitchy has taken off.
No, bitchy.
Like,
so
I am eating down. I remember like, oh my God. So it was like, this was 2009. So this was like, I was reporting celebrity death. This is when DJ AM had died. Remember DJ AM? So I'm like, y'all, they done took DJ AM. I had wrote the article. I am bitch. I don't know how my parents found it. I can't remember how they found it. I cannot remember. I don't know if I would remember if my sisters told on me, but I can't remember how they found out. Maybe my mom, because once I got caught talking to them niggas in California, I think my mom started like doing laptop checks. Like, what you on that computer doing? Because me and Randy from California, see, I dropped her name, chatting on AIM. Paragraphs, long hours, but I wasn't doing nothing bad. But my parents found that blog.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. My bad.
My parents found that blog, and they sat me down. Like, I can't believe, you do this, you disrespect us like this and disobey us. And I was just like, it's bitches at my school with kids, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is, I
like,
get
chill
it,
on me.
but like, bro, It's been just fucking for real. Like, I'm not.
Parents didn't care nothing about that. It's at least mine because they like, you're not supposed to be doing that. Like,
anything I say, if I say you can't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you eat it anyway, you're going to hell. Like, it was just like, bro, I know you like. And then my dad, this is the last time pissing me off. Actually, no, it wasn't. It was one of his last few times. He was just like, you just lying, you lie about everything. Are you even still a virgin? I mean, he asked me if I was still a virgin. I was like,
Lord.
This is some Frank Mitchell shit. I said, Dad, where am I fuck at? Obviously didn't say fuck.
Where am I doing at?
I don't do shit but be in this goddamn house. How am I have sex? Am I have sex? You raise somebody? I've always had sense. I love that for me. I said, you raise somebody to fuck in the corridors at school? Huh? Where am I fuck at?
I was sucking dick at the school.
You weren't fucking, no. But like,
true. I think to a dad, that might have been worse. I feel like if my father had, like, God bless the situation where my dad did not know I was sucking dick. Because if he
and that wasn't a drag, that's what I literally said. So sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry in advance. But like, 15 years ago. But like, you think I'm gonna fuck at school? When you pick me up at 3:15 and school end at 3:10, where am I fuck at, Mike? I was so mad. But that was like the biggest trouble. I was like, I didn't even do shit. By the time I started doing things, I was in college. But at that point, it's just like, you just got to deal with your consequences, baby girl. You grown now.
Yeah.
I wish I had gotten in like I remember this one girl, Sweet 16. I wanted to go so bad.
I don't even want to talk about shit I missed out on. I planned my junior prom and didn't get to go. My dad was such a mean son of a bitch. Like, I don't even want to get into that shit.
Let's not. Okay, so it was a ROTC ball. This is how I got my nigga to.
I like this story.
It was I told this story how I didn't twerk on my boyfriend at the ROTC ball, and I was like, "Let's go twerk on somebody else." Like he was like, "Okay, maybe that next day, I think we should just be friends." Was the twerk that good? It was peak Travis Porter. Them bitches was throwing it.
This boy left me at my 10th grade homecoming to go be with another bitch at her homecoming, and our homecomings were themed. So like, you dress up like a superhero one year, or a celebrity, like shit like that. Like the 10th graders planned it every year, and they got to pick. So we got to dress up like a celebrity, and I was like, I'm going to be Sasha Fierce. Beyonce. And I dressed up like Beyonce for that nigga to tell me that he was going to Redan to go to another girl.
A Redan bitch.
You done left me to go somewhere with a Redan hoe. I said, I will never trust another. His name was John. He was a fucking pastor's kid. A PK done left me to go hang out with another hoe.
With a Redan bitch.
I mean, no shade to some shade to Redan bitches, but you done left me to go hang out with a hoe from Redan. See, Stevenson was my homeschool, so if you left me to go hang out with a bitch from Stevenson, it's a bitch I know, and it's gonna get talked about, and I'm gonna be embarrassed. So thank God.
You know what I was?
And this nigga went to Shiloh.
You fuck with a nigga that went to Shiloh?
I did. He was cute.
My homegirl went to Shiloh, and it was a nigga that did hair super bad over there.
What's his name, John?
I don't know. I hope not. No, but I was talking on Twitter, and I was reminiscing about this because first of all, it was so funny. So OBO was on a trip with us in California. He's so fine. And he told everybody that we used to talk because they didn't know that. They didn't know the lore. So I'm coming back towards the group because I went and got me a drink and was hanging out with somebody else. And they're like, so you wasn't going to tell us? And I was like, oh my God. This isn't me being in trouble, but have I told the story? I don't want to tell on the podcast now. We'll talk. I have a very embarrassing coochie story with OBO, and it was very funny that I got to tell.
OBO saw your coochie?
Yes. You are so childish. I'm a lady, and a lady never. No, we didn't have sex.
Oh, okay.
But it was just so funny. I was gonna
keep doing this until you said.
Thank God. That you stopped. Not that we didn't have sex, but
you don't want none of this.
I always want some of that.
Get off me! You're a freak.
But no. But that was just really, really funny.
Coochie. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. But you was talking about coochie a while back. Man.
You get more flashbacks for him?
I ain't had coochie in like a year or so. A while. A year and some change.
A year and some change? That's kind of recent, friend.
Well, yeah. But no. It's not recent.
What coochie was that?
Girl, guess who? Who coochie do it be?
Not you got forever coochie.
I do. I sure do. I do.
I'm trying to think of the time I got in trouble. Like, I've told the fan fiction story a million times. And, so this came about because we were talking about the girl who got trouble on Twitter, who was on there showing her ass. It was so funny.
I think I missed some of that.
So the girl, her mom was like, Kamari is only 14 years old. She's a child.
I did see that screenshot, yes.
So I went through the tweets, and it was like, it's not even so much like, oh, somebody was like, y'all piling on a little black girl and calling her fast. She's not fast. She's dumb, which is most 14-year-olds are. You can tell she was trying to keep up with everybody else. She was like, yeah, I want somebody to knock the Mario Karts out of me.
Mario Karts?
You don't even know what you're talking about, Kamari. Shut up. You just trying to sound cool. That's what made it so funny. It's like, she's being bad.
She's being also a kid. Like,
she's also being a kid. Like, you just trying to keep up because we're all on the same internet, which is a problem in and of itself.
We should not all be on the same.
Should not be on the same internet. But it was like, you don't even know what you're talking about, but you're just repeating what other people are saying so you can sound cool and older. You look like a child. You are a child.
You sound like a child.
Through roasting people. It was very funny though, cause like, yeah, somebody knocked the Mario Karts.
Okay. Well,
her mom was like, she's not allowed to date. She don't have no boyfriend. She just on here fucking talking.
She's on talking shit.
Which is funny. But also when I was 14, you know what I was on the internet? And then Chris took his big fat meaty member and
stop
slid
saying
it up
member.
into my big gaping, juicy, squelching, dripping hole, and he thrust in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Then he flipped me over and smacked my behind, and then took his tongue and licked me from the rooter to the tutor. And then he went and took to the side. And he slid in.
If you were my
and
child, you would have to go stay with your grandparents. Just straight up. You can live here, just not for right now, because I've learned too much about you.
Yeah. Filth. My imagination was running around. So it's like, I too showed my ass on the internet when I was 14. I think that may have been. And again, if I would have, what was my punishment for that? I think my mom's, like, the humiliation was enough. She was like, don't do that shit no more. Because I still was on the internet. But did I do it more? Of course I did. I just got better. And then when it was like, I bit off more than I could chew, I had someone else, like one of the older girls on the message board. She wrote the sex scene for me.
Man, I wasn't participating in none of that shit.
You was out in the field for real. I had to do what I could.
No, not that young. When I was in middle school, we had an underground book ring where we would trade Zane books.
Of course.
And that shit. And I think my librarian, Miss Green, rest her soul, because that lady has done so much for the trajectory of my life. She knew what was going on, and I think she was just like, these little bitches are reading.
They're just reading.
Fine.
They're
Let
reading.
them do it. Like, and we should not have been reading those books, but I think she was just excited to have a group of girls in the library excited about reading. So she just let us rock out.
No, we did that. It was like, but it wasn't Zane. It was like them hood novellas, like Wahida Clark, Love and the Bullet, or whatever the fuck. And I was reading it after the high school graduation test, like the writing test, and I was one of the first bitches done.
Period.
Period. And I'm reading, it was just so graphic and nasty. I just felt like everyone could hear my inner monologue. So I'm reading, but I'm looking around like, them books. And it's like, even with that, as nasty as it was, I wasn't like thumping or masturbating or getting wet or anything. I was just in it for the love of the game.
I was just, because they write these books like this is what romance is. So you're like, this is a romance novel. And then you look at some shit like that as, even like I read Eric Jerome Dickey very, very early. And like even reading those books, I'm like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. Like as a kid, I read How Stella Got Her Groove Back at quite an early age. And then rereading it as a grown person, I'm like, whoo, I'm like that Nene meme. Whoo.
And also, like, when I finally had sex, I was like, It didn't really get cinematic for me until I was out of college. I'm trying to, okay, this is completely off rails. What's the most cinematic sex you ever had?
I told you. I said it when we was on the Cocktails podcast. It's 23 years old. That man came, and when I was working at my first campaign, I had my first office. He came and ate me out under that desk. I said, this is a movie. I said, I've never.
I think I may have had the same answer
like
when it was in the rain. When it was raining, and it was to the Freaking Me song, and he was matching the Marsha Ambrosius with Freaking Me.
I don't think you told me that.
I just told the story. So yeah, that's probably the most cinematic because I'm excluding anything with my king.
Not the.
What's that?
The Yandy.
Cause like now it's like, oh, I want to fuck your nigga in the rain. Like, relax. But no, this dude I was talking to in New York, and we were in his apartment, and it was like, it was a nice little apartment, and it was raining. It was like raining hard, and I had my sex playlist on the aux, and it was Jamie Foxx featuring Marsha Ambrosius, and he was like going to the beat of Freaking Me. It was like the Freaking Me. He's an awful.
The awful ones be fucking.
That man.
My best in the rain sex, I was returning a U-Haul. I moved to West Midtown. I lived in a condo with this girl. And I was returning the U-Haul and we had sex in the back of the U-Haul just with the thing up while it was raining. It was very poor, but like you didn't think of it that way because it was just like, you remember when you were younger? I'm still this way now, but it's just more refined because I'm a grown-up. But like when you were young, you'd be like, I need to fuck now. I need to do it right now. Ooh. And I just cannot, because like now my frontal lobe is developed, so there's 0% chance I'm fucking in the back of a U-Haul. But at that age, I'm like, this is
we didn't figure Oscar out how worthy. We can fuck immediately.
Yes.
Another time, Rain is my last time with. And we were driving to a date, so we did a paint and sip. It was like on our side of town. And then I was like, oh, let's try this restaurant in Decatur. So we went to Decatur. We drove down, what's that street? Church Street. We were driving down Church Street. And I think the wine had hit us from the sipping paint. And it was raining. And I was like, pull over in one of these neighborhoods right now. This random white neighborhood, parked the car. It was
Y'all
raining.
was trying to go to prison. Jail.
And we fucked in the car, and this young man had a 2-door car. This was not a large car.
That's
and
crazy.
He was a large man.
I used to be folding them tall niggas up in my little Hyundai.
Man, when them niggas get to bending because they want to. All right, man. Then we walked into that restaurant like Bobby and Whitney. Like, you know that picture of them when they're like
love
this?
Shit like that.
Or that picture of Cardi and Offset when they clearly had just finished
fucking. When his pants were fucking falling down.
That's how we walked in the restaurant. I think I had like some kind of stain.
Not some kind. You know what kind of stain it was?
Free mystery stain. Don't know what it was. I know we walked in the restaurant. They were looking at us like,
man. I think that's the part. Like after having lived with my partner, like that's why I also say I want a separate space with my man, because when you live with a nigga, why would we fuck in this parking lot? We have a home. So like, and it's like great that you do have a home because you're like, we live together and that's wonderful. But then you like,
you gotta carve out.
Spontaneity is decreased.
Because we're gonna fuck in the bed that we sleep in.
Yeah, we're gonna sleep in this bed
now.
And our alcohol is at home. Like our things are there.
That's where the things are.
Yeah.
We've been able to sneak a couple fun, spontaneous moments. One time, me and that boy did hunch in one of them parking garages downtown Detroit.
That sounds fun. That sounds like a good
that
time.
was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun because you already out, you drunk. And sometimes I'd be like,
was it that Z parking lot?
It was that Z parking lot over there by Moot. Yeah. We was like in that parking lot.
Yeah, I like the Z lot.
The Z lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And neither one of us are tall, but his car is pretty large.
Y'all are so compact.
We're so
cute.
small.
Y'all so small.
We're so
dainty. So demure. Yes.
Very dainty. So we fucked in the car. That was fun.
Yeah. How did we devolve to sex?
And we always get here.
We do.
So I wish, I'm trying to think of whose
I don't
dick
know
I would
when
have
I'm
sucked
gonna
in high
have some
school.
sex again.
If I was sucking dick in high school, whose dick would I?
You gonna say his name?
Of course not. Of course not. What is that nigga? I ain't seen that nigga in years.
I don't need to see anybody that I went to middle school or high school with ever.
My high school crush is still fine though. He watched my story every once in a while. So
I think two of my middle school crushes. I know I told you when Lauren was on the show way back. I told you one of my middle school crushes had gotten arrested because he pointed a gun at somebody in traffic. Yeah. And then my
that
other
was Bernadette's son, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then one of my middle school crushes, I'm pretty sure he's in prison. I'm almost certain he's in prison.
Well, my high school crushes did go to prison for, and he like, you too pretty and light skinned to be going to prison now.
I'm sure he's having a ball.
I think he out now.
But
let's wrap up.
Yeah, I'm a little tired. I want to take my wig off. I'm hungry. I haven't had anything to eat.
Oh yeah, I got that sandwich.
I gotta take a lift home, so I gotta make sure I don't get murdered.
I don't feel like making sides though.
Just eat the fish. Eat some potato chips or something. I don't know what to tell you. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.